N64 games are a staple of my childhood. Games like Banjo-Kazooie, Ocarina of Time, and Mario 64 all helped shape me into the man I am today. Among the games on the 64, there are some that have stood the test of time and are recognized as some of the GOATs. Starfox 64 is one of those few games that I would describe as virtually perfect. I can't really fault it in any way. The music, the graphics, the gameplay loop, all of it is just incredible. And of course, a game of this caliber has awesome world building, which also means it's packed with mysteries. So today, let's do a barrel roll right into this game and see what we can find. This is the Mysteries of Starfox 64. How long is the launch bay? I can't be the only one who questioned how long this launch bay is. I know Arwings are fast and we fly through the launch bay super quick to restock if needed, but in the beginning of the game, Fox and team are running down this launch bay forever. So how long is it? According to the Arwingpedia, it's 890 space meters long. Let's assume this is normal meters, and converting it to feet would make it about 2,919 feet. This thing is massive in size. Based on some info from a random Starfox soundtrack booklet, we know the heights of the Starfox team roughly, and it would take a 6-foot semi-athletic person sprinting about 3 minutes and 50 seconds to run this length. It takes them approximately 30 seconds to run to their Arwings based on the cutscene. Roughly based on the height and average speed sprinting, they'd cover between 750 and 970 feet. So this launch bay is about that long. And dang, that's still quite a bit. The intro Arwing. Starting at the very beginning of the game, as we receive the dialogue that sets up the plot, we're shown a red, tinted Arwing slowly rotating in space. This appears to be the same model as the title screen, which clearly shows Fox, or at least a Fox character. But who does this really represent? I don't think it's actually Fox, as the story and narration is telling us of Fox's father and setting up the new Starfox team. I believe this is actually James McCloud in his Arwing, or Fox's father if you're unaware. Further backed by the tint of the craft, it's a very specific red tint. This particular tint really only happens in 2 levels to my knowledge, Solar and Venom. And since James allegedly perished on Venom, this is most likely the case, though an interesting detail is it isn't in all range mode, which his ship is in the final stretch of Venom. I do think though this is a reference to James's ship and it's sort of a ghostly red form. While we're at it, why don't we just talk about James McCloud? Allegedly perishing as we face off against Andross on Venom 2, the place is about to explode, so we need to navigate through these tunnels, and this is when Fox's allegedly deceased father shows up and helps us navigate out. Was this his father in the physical? A ghost? A hallucination? Many fans have many theories, but let me just say I'm inclined to believe he's actually a hallucination. Some may take the stance of him guiding Fox through a maze to safety being the evidence for him being a ghost, but to be honest, this maze is pretty straightforward. No matter what path you take, you reach an end where Andross is. Navigating back here would just be doing what you did in reverse. The whole follow me Fox and this way is just you maybe having a bit of pilot instinct that the place is blowing up and you should avoid any signs of it on the pathway. And as you escape, your father's ship flies off and disappears. As nice as it would be to believe he's a ghostly figure saying he's proud of you and such, in this super stressful anxiety near-death moment, I think Fox's brain just went into survival mode and he hallucinated it. Plus, this place is Andross' secret lab. Who knows what kind of experimental chemicals and gases and things were getting into the environment. It's possible Fox was affected by this. Not to mention Andross does confirm he killed Fox's father. And speaking of Andross, let's talk about his true form. Andross has 3 forms shown within the game: the giant head with hands, a robot copy, and a big brain. With Fox stating the big brain was his true form. This true form is the result of his dangerous biotechnology experimentation, which is why he was banished to Venom in the first place. Once he reached Venom, he actually experimented and augmented himself, which made him shed his appearance and just retain his brain and eyes, which are heavily augmented with things like a dimensional transporter, which is why he teleports as you shoot him. But as he probably couldn't continue conducting experiments without hands, he had a robotic body built that he can control with his mind. The difference in endings really is 1, we completely destroy the outside robotic shell and get to the inside where we take him out, but at the last second, Andross teleports out of there, leading into the events of Dinosaur Planet, as he uses the power of the Spellstones and Krazoa to piece himself back together, just like the planet itself. The other ending, we only destroy the robotic shell and the brain lives on. Andross's true form is indeed the brain and eyeballs, and the experimentation turned him gigantic and gave him the ability of dimensional warping. Tripping meteorites. In the asteroid belt on the second level, Meteo, depending on your path, there are these warp gates that you can fly through and your ship starts spinning. Slowly but surely, as you hit them, the world gets more and more distorted, and if you hit them all, you warp into a wormhole dimension. What's super strange about this dimension is all the meteorites get these weird technological circuitry look to them and radiate different colors. There are also special enemy types like these drill-like ones that drop trails of color. These aren't just our normal enemies modified though, as we see normal enemies as well. There's something strange about this dimension. Are these creatures and craft always there, and we just can't see it at our speed? Is it like a super speed dimension? A speed force, if you will? I wonder if Andross discovered this dimension and was experimenting with what he found for his bioweapons. One thing's for sure, it's trippy as heck. Venom Temple. Venom is Andross's home base. He's created a sort of underground lab as well as an army defense outside. There is one strange place though that makes no sense. A giant temple with strange architecture. You could say it's a bit monkey-ish. It has golems on the front, and we chase one on the inside as it runs away. While this temple could be a creative project, it gives the vibe it could be more ancient. Could this be a lost Venom culture with ancient technology? Maybe this is how Andross created his mechanized robot head, reverse engineering this. He must know something about Venom we don't. This planet certainly is mysterious. The player's guide actually confirms that the monuments at the very least out front appear to be ancient, according to experts. Trainer. In training mode, we encounter a character who really doesn't speak. Training starts off with Rob, but quickly transitions to a raccoon dog character. He has no name in-game and doesn't speak out loud. Evidently, in the Japanese Starfox 64 website, they reveal his name. It's Yaru Depan. He is the president of Space Dynamics and works with Slippy's dad quite often. This is the company that made the Arwings and custom-built the Great Fox. Neat lore behind a character we don't see much of. Also, he may be doing some shady deals apparently. The Great Fox. How does a mercenary team have such cutting-edge and custom-made tech? There's actually an incredible answer. It's totally canon. The Great Fox was entirely custom-ordered by James McCloud through Airspace Dynamics. While his team does work with the Cornerian military, Starfox is its own entity. General Pepper had no involvement with the purchase of the Great Fox. James McCloud, and this is a direct quote, took out a low-interest 80-year mortgage to purchase the Great Fox. Fox inherited this debt and is doing his best to pay it off. It's incredible there's actually any info about this out there, and poor Fox inheriting his father's problems in more ways than one. Well, that's all I have for you. I hope you'll drop a like in this video to help spread my content and subscribe so you don't miss a future upload. Until next time, have a good one. Jiggylookback!